Hey viewers, George here to do an impression talking a bit on this game, Mario Kart 8 for the Wii U. What do I really have to say? I mean, it's a Mario Kart game, of course it's going to be good, but how good is it? That's the question you're probably all wondering. It's... would I dare say it's the best one? In most cases it definitely is. It's certainly better than the past few that we got. What was it, 7 and Wii? So yeah, so far it's been pretty damn good in comparison to the past two, but there's some problems with it, of course. Alright, so let's get to the main thing that everyone wants to know. The new tracks, are they any good? Yes. I cannot think of one single track from the new set that is bad. They're all really cool, they're all really fun and interestingly designed, and you'll definitely have a really good favorite out of them, but none of them are bad, which is actually really weird, I should say, because there's always like that one course that you really don't like in the bunch, but there isn't really one with this. Like, all these are really awesome courses. And I think that's really partially due to the fact of the big new gameplay thing that they have, essentially where you can drive on like wall surfaces or like ceiling surfaces or whatever, because you get like these anti-gravity things. And of course, you know, Mario Kart's not the first one to do this. I think Crash Nitro Kart might have been the first one to do that with the anti-gravity wheel thing, but comparing those and like how they utilize it within the tracks, Mario Kart 8 does a better, because it makes it more fun and not really like, look, we can make these cool corkscrews, and it's more so like, look at all the neat things that are happening around you, and like, you wouldn't really get to experience quite the same way. Like, you won't get instances where you'll constantly be going like through like a corkscrew kind of thing, but more so like you'll be riding along the walls and stuff like that. It just looks really cool. Also, it looks nice. What else do I gotta say? Classic courses that they've chosen. I haven't seen all of them, but from the ones I've seen, they're really cool and they utilize them nicely. Not all of them take advantage of the new anti-gravity wheel thing, but that's fine. Some of them really don't need to, like Moo Moo Meadows. Obviously doesn't, because there's really no way they could really integrate it, because it's a farm level. You can't do it. But then there's levels like Mario Circuit 2 or whatever from the Game Boy Advance one, which utilizes in a really neat way. Nothing too extreme, but it does. And I want to mention this, like, another cool thing that this game does is it has these little details that are just so cool if you see them. One of the cool ones I really liked is in the Mario Circuit from the Game Boy Advance, where the section where it uses the anti-gravity things during the opening intro video, you actually see that part of the track raise up because it has like a hydraulics underneath it, and it just looks cool to see it, because you just see like the piece of the track start coming up during that, and I'm like, that they didn't need to add that, but that looks really cool. It gives a bit more of a dimension to the track than just being like, look at this track that was built. It's more like, look at how this track is within the world setting. Like, they've taken this old track that they've had laying around, and they've modified it for like the new circuit, and it adds more to that immersion that really isn't necessary for a racing game, but really works nicely. The characters, cars, and all that, really cool. I really like that they not only have like one or two of the Koopalings, but every single one is its own individual character. That's really cool. Downside, we not only get Metal Mario back, but we get Golden Pink Peach, Metal Peach. Just like, I'm sorry, what? This is the one thing that really confused me from 7 is why they had Metal Mario as like this character that you get in the final thing, like the last character you essentially unlock. Because it's not like that great of a character or anything. It's not like a very interesting or different character that you get to play as. It's Mario in his metal form. It's like, hey, why not also add Wingcap Mario because he's slightly different or something like that, or like the plumped up Mario because he's slightly different looking. It just seems really stupid, especially when you think of all the other really cool characters you could have added. Like, I remember in Mario Kart DS when you unlock Rob the Robot, like no one saw that coming. And you unlock him, like, that's really cool. That's like an ancient piece of technology, and you're like bringing that character back. And of course, he comes in, the Smash games, and that's also really cool. But like, it would be really neat if they could bring back like some sort of old character from like Nintendo's library that you would not expect to see in a Mario Kart game, but they bring it in because it's that last character you unlock. It might as well be something really special, not just some sort of metal version of a current character that you get. It just seems really stupid. Almost like Baby Rosaline, but that, here and there. Why not add Baby Wario to the mix? I mean, fucking going along with that idea. What else do I have to talk about? Online. Didn't get too much time to play it. I played like one track on it just to get a gist of it, and it works. It's great. Didn't see too big of a problem or anything. Lags or anything. Didn't really experience that much. It works. It's so much fun playing online, especially in this one, because Mario Kart games with their online seems to have like the hit and miss, like the Wii game. The Wii version was very hit and miss, but that's because the Wii wasn't very online happy. But it's so fun in this one, and I especially like that they add that two people can play on the same screen online. Those are always a nice thing, and a lot of games seem to neglect that feature for some fucking reason, but it's really nice that it's in there. What else? Battle mode. The one mode that I love in Mario Kart games, because it's just like the best multiplayer mode in like existence. Like, how many people like play Mario Kart just for the battle mode, right? And unfortunately, this one kind of is shorted out a little bit. Essentially, what it is, you can do the battles on any of the courses, any of the racetracks. And you can go in any direction, of course. I mean, there's no limit to that, so it does feel essentially like a good battle game, but there's no courses that are designed for the mode. And that is a huge letdown. I mean, I always love that mode because like they would create these new arenas or tracks like for that mode. And it was always fun. I mean, Block Fort was always my favorite, just because it was so hectic. But it seems to be neglected with this one, which is so unfortunate. And I mean, they can obviously fix it with some sort of updates or DLC or something like that. But the fact that it was kind of neglected during the development kind of feels like we've been shorted. Nintendo, you fucked us over in one instance. And also two instances, because the metal characters are stupid. And I'm never going to understand why they've ever added them. But, whatever. What else do we got to talk about? Nintendo TV. Personally didn't try it. Obviously, I mean, you can look on my channel, you don't see any of the Nintendo TV stuff. But, from what I've gathered here and there, it's nothing that special. It's very, one note kind of thing. It's a cool idea. Definitely an interesting idea. Especially if you're, like, you love to upload, like, how cool you are at a game, but you don't have, like, the equipment for it like myself does. Then, the game offers that option. And that's really cool. Unfortunately, it only, from what I've understand, it only allows up to a minute of the replay, and it really is very limited what you can do with it, which is so unfortunate because apparently the in-game one, there's a whole slew of options you can do. Like you can slow things down, speed them up, change angles and stuff like that. But in this one, it shows a minute with like angles that kind of fade to black and fade in kind of thing, and that's dumb. I mean, if they upgrade this, if they make it really interesting, I can see so many people being really cool with it. Because it is a cool idea. I like when games add that option, because a lot of games are starting to do that now, because a lot of people are doing it to begin with, so they might as well add it within the game. But it's it doesn't seem to be completely explored from what I've gathered, which is very unfortunate. Because there's a lot they can do with it. It shows there's a lot they can do with it, but they just didn't do it. Controls. Of course, there's two different control styles. Well, I guess three control styles if you have the Pro controller, which I have yet to grab. But you can use the Wiimote. Wiimote. This isn't that. You can use the gamepad. You know, in two ways. You can use it as a little steering wheel if you want. No one really liked it, but it's there. Or, which is the default setting, which is awesome. You can just do normal with the buttons and stuff like that. Really good. Obviously, Nintendo knows everyone does not like using the steering wheel concept, but it exists. I almost forgot the coolest thing in this. The music is phenomenal. I can't quite recall the last time I really enjoyed the music from Mario Kart games, and this one just is so nice to listen to. When you play, it's just like, oh, these little changes they do in certain parts, the music overall, the various instruments they incorporate into it, and how they set the mood, but it still feels like a race music that's appropriate for the gameplay. It's just amazing how well it's done. It has a... If you haven't heard it before, you definitely should. It's orchestrated, of course, but it's done in such a way that it has like this very bouncy feel to it. I don't know how they describe it. I'm not very musically inclined enough to justify, like, or not so to justify, but to sort of give the right terminologies for it. But it has like this slight style or feeling to the way it's orchestrated that it just sounds so cool to listen to. Unfortunately, I can't quite find the exact words to describe it, but when you listen to it, you'll know what I'm talking about for sure. Anything else I gotta talk about? No, I think that's about it. So, yeah, Mario Kart 8, really cool game, definitely worth grabbing, highly recommend it. It's definitely one of the great titles that are on the Wii U, of course, amongst so many. And, yeah, with that all said and done, until next time, keep on gaming.